So let's talk about the safety of you and your families. Popular pools that people pay a lot of money to swim in were overdue for their required safety inspections, according to Wake County records.
We're talking about places where children take swimming lessons and even a high-end spa. Now they're up to date, but only because WRAL Investigates Sarah Kruger exposed the issue to the county.
I interviewed someone with Wake County about pool inspections, and while I was there, I pointed out a couple places on this list that were listed as uninspected, yet appeared to still be open. I was told it could be an error, but it was no error. And sure enough, the day after I pointed this out to them, those pools got inspected.
The Umstead Spa in Cary and Safesplash Swim School in Morrisville. The pools at both, we now know from county officials, were operating for roughly a month without required inspections.
How important do you think it is that pools are checked every year?
I think it's so important. There are so many waterborne sicknesses.
On June 12th, I interviewed Jessica Sanders, who oversees pool inspections for Wake County.
There's been accidents over the years that have drawn lots of attention, and so it is a very important inspection for our inspectors to do thoroughly.
In that interview, I pointed out Safesplash and the Umstead Spa, which stood out to me in the list of roughly 175 uninspected public pools. Sanders told me she would look into that, then telling me by email several days later simply that they do have valid permits. I was still curious about what was going on, so I went online to pull the inspections and found they were performed only one day after our interview. It was no coincidence. The county confirming, yes, it was my inquiry that prompted the inspections. Also, that both places operated without valid permits for approximately 1 month. The county says neither had requested inspections, pointing out the pool operators are the ones responsible for doing so.
Until we hear from them, we don't know to inspect them.
Thankfully, Safesplash and the Umstead passed inspections with no issues. Those inspections involve things like checking water quality and ensuring life-saving equipment and emergency phones work properly. When I reached out to Safesplash and the Umstead, they told me similar things, that both have staff who do their own inspections daily, and that in the past, a Wake County inspector had reached out to them to schedule inspections. They stressed their commitments to safety.
Because of what WRAL Investigates exposed, the county told me it was proactively going through its list to make sure there weren't any others in the same boat. Now we have found 49 more pools have been inspected since we first started asking questions. Sarah Kruger, WRAL News in Wake County.
Kudos to Sarah. Before you head to the pool, you can check the list to see the ones that have not yet been inspected. We have a link to that list on our website. Just look for this story.